Welcome, friends, to the 3-for-1 podcast. I am one of your hosts, Bacon, a.k.a. Chims, a.k.a. Nick. I have way too many nicknames. I'm here with my good friends.
Bobrick, also known as Andy.
Zimu, also known as John.
And we're here today to discuss Universes Beyond, Universes Be-In, and the various implications that all of this has for the game of Magic the Gathering. And there's a lot. So in terms of that, there's a new set coming out. Have you heard? Are you pumped? Are you excited for the Spiderman set?
Yeah, the introduction of Marvel now into the Magic the Gathering universe. Another step in the long line of Universes Beyond editions. Where they started with The Walking Dead and then into Warhammer and Fallout. Yeah.
Godzilla.
Yeah, culminating most recently in Lord of the Rings. But no, now, we're going on to Spider-Man in the Magic universe.
Yep.
Get me more pictures of Spider-Man.
Oh, God. Speaking of pictures of Spider-Man, that's a great transition.
Yeah.
So, turns out Wizards didn't have the digital rights to Spider-Man images, so at least people playing online get an actual Magic the Gathering set.
Oh yeah, they announced that it's going to be Universes Within, so in-universe printings of all of the Spider-Man cards, since they can't print them digitally. And that's true not only of Spider-Man, but actually all Marvel products. I'm not sure if it's because it competes electronically with Marvel Snap or other different, IP that they have. But
conglomerates like to hold on to their digital rights pretty intensely.
So we'll have like a Dr. Octopus card, and then on digital we'll have Surgeon General Squid or something. I don't know how they're going to do it.
It was like Human Spider Hero.
Oh my
The Human Spider!
Actually, I saw some of the designs. I won't get into them specifically, but the art on the Universes Within looks pretty dope. I would probably play that set. I'm not going to lie. I don't anticipate buying a single booster of the Spider-Man set. I don't plan on doing the pre-release. It hurts my very soul that I am going to have to play a competitive 60-card game of Magic and sideboard against Uncle Ben. This is bad.
So did you buy any packs of any of the other Universes Beyond products? Like, is this a bridge too far? Or
yeah, this is so there's like a line for me, and so when it comes to Universes Beyond, right? Like Dungeons and Dragons, I always kind of thought that they were the same universe to begin with. Like, Wizards owns all the IP. There's already a fireball. There's elves. There's orcs. Cool. I can respect that. And there was some reciprocity there. There's a Ravnica setting in Dungeons and Dragons that you can play in. So, like, sure. Jace just goes and trips and falls into a Tamriel. And we're like, okay, cool. This works, right? Then there was Lord of the Rings, which, although it was obviously the start of a slippery slope leading to a hellscape where SpongeBob is suddenly on my counterspell art, I was willing to accept that. It's the granddaddy of all fantasy. It's the OG orc and elf, and it fit into the setting, right? Final Fantasy for me, I know a lot of people are excited about this set. I personally have like a special place in my heart with Final Fantasy, but it straddles both sides of the line for me. I'm not here to yuck your yum. If you're excited for Final Fantasy, please go. I'm probably going to buy some of that. And I did buy a ton of Dungeons and Dragons and a ton of Lord of the Rings cards that came out. I have like a canonically accurate Sauron deck that I built in Commander. I was excited for it. So if here's the line, and here's the good part, Spider-Man is so far over there. It's like 2 different townships away. It's set in what, like fucking New York City?
Yeah.
Why is my the direction of over there?
That was a coincidence. I won't even joke and besmirch you by associating you with the Spider-Man
Wow.
set. Like, no, there are physical locations in Spider-Man. It's like Manhattan. Is there going to be a Manhattan land? Are we going to tap Manhattan and, I don't know, generate a rat token? I love you, New York. You do have a rat problem. But, like, what?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest kind of fallbacks to the pushback on the universes beyond being printed in Magic has been Wizards saying, if you don't want to play with the cards, you don't have to. You know, the first, it's the Secret Lair with the Walking Dead, those were only legacy legal, and even then they were like, whoa, we're never going to print, you know, mechanically unique Secret Lairs again. And then with Lord of the Rings, they were like, well, they're modern legal and legacy legal and vintage legal, but still, you know, if you don't want to play with these cards, that's fine. Just play standard. You know, just don't draft the set. Just play standard. Our most premier format is going to be safe from, you know, having to cast Gandalf the Grey and sideboard against Spider-Man. And then with this most recent announcement, now, yes, not only are we going to have a ton of supplemental product, well, not supplemental, real product this year, scheduled releases of Final Fantasy, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Spider-Man. But those are going to be standard legal, and you are going to have to be packing, you know, for not Dr. Octopus, but Professor...
Surgeon General Squid.
Yeah, Surgeon General Squid, yeah, you need to have... Because they are supported in all formats.
They kind of did like a rug pull where they're like, yeah, we're going to keep this separate, you know, only for Commander, only for Modern, only for, like, you know, and then they're like, oh, we've changed the terms of the deal. Pray we change them no further. Which will be a Magic card at some point when we get to the Star Wars set.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Liliana's going to be a Disney princess before the end of the year.
It's sort of like Jim's was saying, it's like, there was, you know, when we went to Lorwyn for the first time, everyone was like, oh, these are hobbits. Like, Kithkin are like, hobbits are just Kithkin. They're just like a named version of them. You know, it's the same family tree. And I won't get too deep into it, but basically all JRPG stuff is Dungeons and Dragons. It's just like a different way it's branched off. So Final Fantasy kind of just, you know, same tropes, different skin.
We have Kamigawa. That makes sense. Sure.
Right.
But like, now Spider-Man just isn't fantasy. It was not that it's real, but it's not. It's like a present day.
It's set in modern times.
Yeah,
it's modern.
Yeah, it's an alternate fiction.
Alternate reality.
Like there's the United States,
which is now canonically
a plane in
Magic
the Gathering.
Like I remember way back where they like said there was the storm scale, but for planes, and they had like Arabia. I think they call it the Arabia scale because they're like, we messed up with, you know, Arabian Nights. We kind of just took this, you know, well-known thing and just said this is it, instead of, you know, making our own version of it. And we're not going to do that again. Arabia is the plane we're never going back to. You know, we didn't even have an invasion of Arabia.
Oh yeah,
even when we invaded all planes, there were Phyrexians there. We didn't see them.
Right.
But like now we're gonna have New York plane or whatever. You know, we've gone so far into it.
But with their most recent announcement, alongside these Universes Beyond cards that we're not getting digital access to, we have the Universes Within, which is the actual printed. If they were printed within the Magic universe.
So at least you'll get to play a game of Magic the Gathering instead of White Schwartz online, right? Like,
so
that's nice.
I have mixed feelings about this, because this is sort of what I wanted it to be at all points. Like, the way they did Godzilla cards in Ikoria was, I feel like, perfect. It was like, clearly we designed this card to be Mothra, but we're going to have, you know, an in-universe Mothra, and then we'll just put Mothra on it for the people who really like it. But now, like, we're getting what I want, but only because they very clearly didn't think about digital rights when they made this decision. They made 3 or 4 sets before realizing, oh wait, we just can't put this online.
Yeah.
Magic Online was saved by their incompetence.
And
it's like, if it wasn't obviously a mistake, I'd be way more into it. If it led with this, I'd be way more into it. But it's very clear that they 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. I don't even know how to count steps. I'm so mad.
I mean, like you were saying, after the Godzilla application, they should have just been like, all right, we did it.
This is it.
We figured it out. Yeah, if we ever want to do a Final Fantasy set, have 30 or 40 special treatment cards applied over Magic the Gathering cards, and then everybody gets what they want. If you want to play with your Final Fantasy cards or Godzilla cards, you can. But, the actual Magic versions do exist.
Yeah, and that's what Secret Lairs kind of are now. I can play Hatsune Miku Shelter if I want to, but I'm not required to.
Or even a SpongeBob.
Even SpongeBob's counterspell, as much as it makes me actually make the face in that meme. I can accept that. I really can. If SpongeBob as Joyra is actually kind of amusing to me. Joda, whatever.
Joda, yeah.
I can't even think. I'm just. I'm lost.
I do hate that. I heard someone the other day say, "I'm building a SpongeBob deck. It'll be humans tribal," and I kind of had an aneurysm.
It hurts the soul.
I might still be having an aneurysm.
If this is a fever dream of you, then that makes this world so much better. That the Spider-Man set could just be as part of reality being a simulation. That makes me really much.
It makes a lot more sense if that was the case.
Yeah, but it. So people are always like, "What's this? Is this a symptom of a sickness? Is this a sickness itself? What is the cause of this?" And it's just part of so many other issues that we've been seeing lately with Hasbro's takeover of Wizards of the Coast. We did a video a little while ago about the Commander tier list and the progress they were making, and we were really positive about that because it was awesome. This is going to be the opposite of that because it is absolute moldy dog water. It's just, they figured out, I think, that they can make money with memes because people went insane for the SpongeBob set. Hell, even I bought the Deadpool Secret Lair, which canonically I'm more okay with because he just breaks the fourth wall. Deadpool shows up wherever he wants. Read Deadpool Kills Classic Literature. It's a great comic book, but he can just do that. So, okay, he got high one day and showed up in Ravnica, did some things with unicorns and left. I can more or less accept that, as part of it.
I can't, but I can understand that you can.
That's fair. That's very fair. I suppose after the pain of Spider-Man, if you break your foot and then stub your toe on the other foot, the broken foot you'll feel the pain of, whereas the other pain you'll be numb to. That's probably what's going on here. But
I'm just thinking, if in a total hypothetical, if Spider-Man's whole canon was that the universe could imprint on other universes, that doesn't make it any better for me. It doesn't matter if the source material supports it being
that's fair
mixed with this other IP.
That doesn't do anything for me.
I didn't see that part of the Beyond the Spideyverse where they bled it.
Oh my god, it is canon in the Spider-Man universe that we have a Magic the Gathering.
So maybe I'm just blind because I like Deadpool. Also, it's not a full fucking set of Magic the Gathering cards. It was a one-off Secret Lair.
Yeah, Deadpool not standard legal.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fine. It's a meme, and they're making money off of memes. But now they're trying to design the game off of memes, and it's
I think that is their hope, is that the highs will get people through the lows. Or everyone has that thing where it's when they do Deadpool,
when they do my thing.
Yeah, when they do my thing, I'm super into it, and then when they don't, I'll just back off. But that's not how Magic works. As you're saying, they're designing the game around it. We're getting it in standard. they say like, oh, you can just opt out of it, but you can't opt out of it when it's going to be in 60 card competitive formats.
In every format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I get that they're designing the game more for, casual and commander, which is obviously their biggest player base, but there was always like respect for the spikes before, and now they've clearly thrown that out the window.
There's going to be like a psychological meta of just building your deck out of Spider-Man and SpongeBob cards and just like tilting your opponent by the very lands that you have. It's like just full art, no text Spider-Man cards with the full land rules text lands, and that's just what you got to do now to get that competitive edge and just make your opponent want to switch to playing Flesh and Blood or something.
It's the new lands in front meta.
Yeah.
We used to flick our cards and play our lands wrong, and now it's just different card arts and different IP mixing. Anything to put your opponent on tilt.
It's tragic. They had the Princess Bride secret lair. You remember that? There's Princess Buttercup and Wesley Dread Pirate.
I don't remember that. Is that real?
No, that's real.
I can't keep up with it.
That's 100% real.
Okay.
I think it was like, wasn't Buttercup My Precious Captain Sisay or something like that? The 5-color one. I don't know, but it's just like, it's out of hand, and now we're forced to deal with it regardless if we wanted to. We could ignore it before, and that would be dope because, like you said, it's like, oh yeah, it's my thing. Now your thing is like, I was gonna say something that was gonna be really crude and memeable, but like, your thing is forced upon us, and we don't like it.
Yeah. And I mean, that kind of ties into the comparison to Weiss Schwartz, too, where it's like, when it's my thing, bye. And then when it's not, I don't care.
Yeah, that game is sort of built that way. It's like most people who buy the cards don't buy them to play with them. They buy them to get the art, to collect. I don't know too much about it, but I know that like the first print runs have like super rares that have like a gold signature, and then when they reprint it, they put like a silver signature, and that just makes people collect it more because they want both the first and second print run signatures. But Magic doesn't have that
yet.
But like, we don't have these super rares. No one's going out for the list version of cards where they reprint them. I don't want that.
It's coming.
I want the people that buy Magic to play Magic, and like, what they're trying to do with this, I feel, is get new people in. It's like, oh, people who like Final Fantasy and heard of Magic, maybe we'll get them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll play the game, they'll love it, they'll stick around. But what if they don't?
Right.
Now we have to live with chocobos in Modern forever.
Giant cactuar getting sacrificed into Fling, or producing 9,999 mana with Sylvana. Like, no, please stop.
Yeah, it's sort of like selling out your old players for your new ones, and some of your new ones will be into it, and some of the existing ones will be into it. But like, Magic, eternal formats complicate things. Things are forever.
Right.
The real issue underlying this, and frankly so many other IPs that were once beloved, I'm not even going to get into it, but I know you guys can think of a couple, is that corporations view communities and community building as making deposits. This is actually like a very widely accepted and used corporate sales strategy. For those of you who don't know, I work in corporate sales. I've worked in corporate sales for a bunch of companies over time. Not going to name them. But you're making a deposit when you're building up goodwill. And now, with everything that's been going on, companies that are having to adjust to new forms of media are making withdrawals to the community. This is them trying to take an IP and going, hey, our toys are they're terrible, they're not doing well. And now we have these communities that Wizards of the Coast and the people that actually care about this game built up over time. How do we effectively monetize this community? And when you use something like that, there is an acceptable amount of churn, people turning over and going to competitors that you can anticipate. It's like a mathematically modelable thing that you can do. And guess what? With that particular model of sales, you have to grow the game by 10% every single product that comes out. If you are growing it by 2%, by 3%, out. We're going to find somebody who can actually grow this game by 7 to 10% every single product. And if it's not a 7 to 10% growth, you're in trouble. 5%, psh, like you can barely keep your job at that. And that is the corporate model that we're being forced into, and that's why the finance bros that ruin Pokemon are ruining everything. I'll get my tinfoil hat for the next round.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like the way people like show up at like Target and like beat up kids to get Pokemon cards because they can just sell them faster? Imagine if like that happens with Avatar: The Last Airbender magic cards. Just like they all get sold to scalpers or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Magic's sort of print to demand, so is it? I don't even know. I mean, as much as their printers can keep up, but there's a lot of... You're letting in some of the monsters, I fear. You're opening the door to them, at least.
Well, to Jim's point, every set sells more than the one before it, and everyone is a resounding success. And, I mean, we could talk about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they did announce very triumphantly that Final Fantasy is the most selling set before it was even printed. Yay, universes, we're doing it, it's good. But like you said, low-key, every set's the most selling set. It's
Right.
Maybe not as fast as this one, but like it just kind of has to be. Magic's growing. They're doing a good job growing the game. Give them that, but there's a point where it has to stop, unfortunately.
Let's see if tournament coverage goes up. I mean, if people continue playing Final Fantasy Magic a month after the set comes out. Let's see if F&M attendance goes up. Let's see if, even if, because I believe, Final Fantasy is going to be on Magical and Arena. Let's see if those usages go up and stay there. Or are they going to have to find the next hot button thing? It's going to go to Star Wars next. And then it's going to be a Star Trek set to fight the Star Wars set. You're going to have dual decks, Picard versus Han Solo.
Stop giving them ideas. Nobody.
Oh, they already know.
This dies here. Nobody say a word.
Don't share this. Please share the video. But it's just how they're now designing cards. We've said this before, but it used to be up to us to figure out what cards were good. And now we know. Fuck.
Yeah, they know. They made the cards and they did the things they designed them to do.
I wonder if Ragavan is going to be played in any formats. And now with like the over-designed commander cards especially, you're seeing this artificial surge in prices, and also there's like unintentional side effects of producing cards for Commander and then making them legal in 60 card formats. Like,
I want to chime in here too, that to tack on to what you're saying about cards printed and designed for Commander, in your opinion, ruining Commander. I think that applies to everything that you look on from the outside and say, like, I know what will fix this, because, with the introduction of Modern Horizons and print directly into format cards, anytime where you look at something and you're like, maybe we should just kind of tinker with this. Like, sometimes you hit, but a lot of times you're just messing things up way, way more, because you don't know what's going to happen when you design your card and release it, and then suddenly a few million people get to kind of messing around with it.
So all these one drops, we need to fix for the one drops. Okay, Force of Will type cards, free cards that you can pitch to answer. So, how do we answer the free pitch spells? Vexing Baubles, but then, the Vexing Baubles kind of too good if you start on the play. And it's like the spider to eat the fly.
And then they're just
just cannibalizes
bans.
itself.
Then they're just like, we know how to fix it. Undo some of the things we did.
So what if you've invested like $300 into this and now your lunch money's gone?
Yeah.
That was a little personal.
So what if the One Ring's like $100 card? We'll just ban it in Modern and make it a game changer.
Right.
So it's pretty much hard to play anyway.
So what if Jewel Lotus is... yeah. There's so many examples of it, and like, frankly, we do a better job than most game designers as a community. Like, we, being Magic community, do a better job than most game designers of figuring out how to make this game fun. Like, let's be real. We're the reason that this game exists. And once you start entering from a profit-driven perspective, like, nobody needs a Magic the Gathering card. This is not a commodity here. Like, it is a luxury item. It is a game, and frankly, like, this is the best the collectible trading game market has ever been in terms of what games are playable. You know, every Saturday at my local store, it's not Magic they're playing. It's Flesh and Blood, and it's Star Wars. And there's a Pokemon League that's booming. You know what we don't have at my store? A Friday Night Magic that actually pops a playable format that's not Commander. Now, at the other store that we have, like, that does exist, but it's shrinking significantly. Could you imagine 10, 15, 20 years ago having a game store that didn't have a functional Friday Night Magic with Modern and Standard?
No, that would have been
insane.
crazy.
To your point, the store that you used to go to that we still go to, well, I guess I still go to, there's more Commander players there Friday nights now than Modern players.
Because Commander is a playable format and Modern is terrible now.
Like you were saying, the most popular format is Commander, and the big thing about Commander is it's not a bunch of CDH pods, it's people sort of self-policing, saying like, hey, let's build decks that are fun to play against each other.
Mm.
Fun to play with, fun to play against. Whereas like Modern, all the cards are designed to just work, combo with themselves, and just win very fast and efficiently. And you can only up the ante with fast and efficient so many times before that there's just no going back.
Right.
Whereas, I just want to have fun, you can always go back. I can always just build a weaker deck. I can always take out the 2-card combo or the 3-card combo.
Right.
Yep. And let's just have a friggin' Modern that doesn't include supplemental sets. Base sets only. If it didn't hit Standard, oh god, Spiderman.
Yeah, there's no running now. But
yeah, exactly.
Maybe we could stem the tide and get back on course, but I don't know.
No, the box is open for Spider-Man.
The only way, unfortunately, is to stop buying the product. And that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Right.
So
everyone has spoken with their wallets, and you buy enough universes beyond until they push the envelope, too far. But by then, it's done.
It's sort of weird in that, like I was saying before, they want to like reach new markets. So if a bunch of Marvel fans are buying into the Spider-Man set, it like inflates the numbers in a weird way, where like all the Magic players can just stop buying Spider-Man Magic cards. But if Marvel players speak with their wallets, they'll sell and it'll look like Magic players are buying it.
Mm-hmm. Success.
There's no way for them to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I
it's
doubt
with F&M attendance.
I very much doubt that will play out that way. It'll definitely be people who have spent 20 years buying Magic cards, realizing, oh, my Magic collection's worthless if I don't buy another bunch of Magic.
They got
sets.
you, yeah.
Yeah, like
sunk cost.
We're super sunk cost at this point.
But
yeah.
I mean, to go back to what you were saying, Chims, about using a F&M attendance or Modern support and Standard support to determine whether or not things are healthy. Mark Rosewater has always said that casual Commander players and kitchen table players are far and away the populace that plays Magic. So I don't want to say they don't care about competitive, but through the years they have cut coverage to different events, and they've made changes to organized play, and it's definitely not their first priority to have butts in chairs on Friday night playing Modern when they could have, 40 or 50 people sitting down shuffling Commander decks. And when they get their Spider-Man cards, they're like, yeah, I can put Spider-Man in my Commander deck. They don't care.
Getting Post Malone to play Commander with a bunch of Tolarian Community College people is probably a bigger spectacle for them than the Pro Tour at this point, which is crazy.
That's a pretty big spectacle.
For the record, shouts out to Post Malone. Yeah. Like, it's not like he's a faker nerd. He is an OG.
No disrespect.
We love Post Malone. He's awesome. Please take that one ring that you have, the 1-of-1 ring, and make a video of you and your friends journeying to a volcano so you can cast it in there. Thank you.
I suspect that's not going to happen.
No, that's not.
But if you are Post Malone, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
if you see this, Mr. Malone,
Yeah. It's just. I don't know. I've been trying to get back into Modern, and it's becoming increasingly hard to get myself psyched out and pumped up to do it.
And I've offered to loan you decks.
Yes.
I have a deck I could just hand you, and just don't want to do it because why would you? It's so much different than you think it is.
It like I was playing Modern. Back in the day when I was playing Modern, it was the original time we had Splinter Twin and Faithless Looting, and I don't play competitively anymore, but I was competitive for like a very long period of time when there wasn't Standard, when we had Type 1 and Type 2.
He's dating himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I was there too.
Yeah. So were you. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I'm not forthcoming with that information.
Not anymore. So Andy's social security number.
Oh my god.
So we.
Way to dox that he's American.
But like it really did used to be. We would figure out what was good, and you had some of the most fun times doing that. That's why Cube is so fun, and that's why Commander is still kind of fun, especially in that tier 3, tier 4. Where you're not doing it. But the card pool for Commander is shrunk massively because now you definitely need the cards that are made for Commander. Right. And it's the same as the Modern Horizons. Wow.
They print so many more cards for it, yet the pool is shrinking.
It really is, yeah. I mean, how many Modern Horizons 3 decks exist in the meta right now? Like, how many... If you had to guess, what's the percentage of Modern Horizons 3 cards that...
In Commander?
No, in Modern, like, top 8s. Like, what percentage of those decks are Modern Horizons 3?
In the one with, like, all Boros that was pretty recent, that's like 70% of the deck is MH3 cards.
Yeah. I mean, every time I look at deck lists, because I loathe Modern Horizons, I count out the cards that were printed into Standard, and then all of the cards in, like, MH1, MH2, MH3, and every time I see a deck, Boros Energy being an outlier... in the fact that it's all Horizons cards, but even still, just every deck in the format is, at least 20 non-lands in the deck are all of your forces and pitch cards that are still legal, and just, it's all Horizons, and then a smattering of cards printed in the other 15 years of Modern's existence. It's like, what do you want to season your Modern Horizons deck with?
They unbanned cards like Mox Opal just to get us non-Horizons cards. And when they first made MH1, they banned Faithless Looting to cover up their Hogak problem. It didn't work, but they kept looting banned. And now that looting's unbanned, it has had the least impact. I guess Splinter Twin had less, but like Faithless Looting was like every single
in like 70% of decks
had to have it. Like your mid-range Mardu deck had it. It was people were saying it's the brainstorm of the format. It's like this unbannable card that's clearly too good, but it's like defines the format in so many different ways. And here it is back, and no one's using it because it's nothing compared to the cards they've printed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to put together. I was always kind of a fringe player. I have like a Poxlome fetish, I guess is the best way of putting that. But so I it's unplayable now because smallpox in the age of Johnny is terrible. It's like, oh, let me help you get this win on me by playing what used to be one of. Let's be honest, it was always terrible, but it was at least playable because I built the deck around it. Now it's just, all right, I guess I need every card to be a 2-for-1.
Yeah. I mean, if you think Smallpox is bad now, wait until you see it against Aang, the Last Airbender. Like, when that hits the board on 1, and then you Smallpox. Oh, they haven't spoiled it yet, but I'm pretty sure that it's gonna kill Smallpox for good. Or Cloud Strafe.
I'm very sad. I keep forgetting that the Last Airbender set is coming out.
And Final Fantasy. All of that is this year. Spider-Man, Final Fantasy,
it's just,
The Last Airbender.
It's going to get to this absurd place. Like, we're talking about these major franchises, but soon it's going to be like, oh, how do we tap the nostalgia market? Let's have a fucking Ed, and Eddie set come out. Like we're just doing the whole 90s Nickelodeon block. And it's going to be Hey Arnold, followed by Ah Real Monsters, so that we can get this feel back, so you can have actual monsters, but then followed up by Clarissa Explains It All cards. Let's do that. Like, where are the Guts cards? Oh my god, I'm going to a real bad
Imagine getting
place.
slimed in Magic. Oh my goodness.
They already have Slimer from fucking Ghostbusters.
That's a special treatment on a card, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Ooh.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, we went from having a bunch of Ghostbusters references in Innistrad cards, like Geist Catcher's Rig, to just actual Ghostbusters cards.
Right.
Yep. Same with the Jurassic Park and the Ixalan, and now we just have Dr. Henry Wu.
I just want to go back to Geist Catcher's Rig and just give me shout outs, give me thinly veiled
Give me
references.
a card named Nevermore.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yep. It's
we
just...
all know what the reference is. Sorry.
No.
No, don't be sorry. The only people that should be sorry are the Hasbro executives that are making these decisions, because it is just crushing people who made this community.
I think some part of it is we used to have like blocks, right? With stories that unfolded, over a whole year, basically. Now we have one set blocks. We're never tied down to anywhere, so we have to keep jumping to new places. We have to keep revisiting planes because they can't come up with planes fast enough, and now they're mishmashing all people from planes because they open the Omen path and everyone can go everywhere, and it's like, well, they have to design fewer planes when Manhattan's a plane now, Bikini Bottom's a plane. They have to do less work creatively if they can just say, okay, we have all the places, the people, we don't have. I don't know if there's going to be story. Is it going to be a Final Fantasy Magic story, or is it that sort of where the story of Final Fantasy? That's just the story,
That would at least make it more palatable to me if there was an actual story behind it.
Lord of the Rings didn't have story, right? It was just... I mean, the Lord of the Rings had its original story, but Magic...
It was shallow. There's nothing there.
Nothing there. But, how do I say this? Nicol Bolas just got out of prison, right? Are we going to have, Spider-Man come in the next War of the Spark to fight Nicol Bolas? Is that going to integrate that way, or is it just some separate thing where we did Spider-Man for a couple months and then never look back at it?
Here's how we save it story-wise. Spider-Man comes in to fight Nicol Bolas, who just absolutely murks Spider-Man. It is just done.
Spider-Man's defeat.
And Nicol Bolas uses summon roll of newspaper and just...
Well, in the first... in Amonkhet, when they all go to fight Nicol Bolas, there's a Jace's defeat, Liliana's defeat. So Spider-Man's defeat.
Yes, exactly. And it's just...
Destroy target spider. If that spider's controller has a Spider-Man planeswalker...
Oh my god, I hate it.
Lose 5 life. I don't know.
We're fuck it. Let's bring back Auntie. Let's just get it so that we're physically violent again. That's a terrible idea, and I'm joking. Please don't demonetize us.
But to your comment, John, about them doing less work with these IPs, they kind of got bit on this one with going to universes within
So,
now.
now they have to do
twice
the
the
work.
work.
Yeah.
Like 1.5 times the work.
Yeah. They have to commission all the new sets, and they have to put it on an in-universe plane, and all the creative design, not the development, but the creative design has to all be done.
Surgeon General Squid might be able to show up and stop Nicol Bolas, you know.
Unless Squidward shows up, because that is actually a possibility now.
Oh, man.
I mean, I think you're touching on something real, though, like in terms of the release schedule. It's just to tie it together. Like the amount that they have to produce now, just because, you know, they're trying to save Hasbro from eating itself. And then coupled with, like, the fact that there is that creative. What's that meme? It's like you draw the horse in, like, 6 hours, and it's this beautiful black and white, and then it's like, okay, it's an outline of a horse, and then it's basically just someone face planted on the page. Like, this is where they're at in terms of the amount of time that the designers are given to actually come up with sets. How can they possibly come up with stories that are compelling in that period of time? I mean, they're already using AI art in some of these cards, and it's just like, this is what you get when you need to crank the profit out. When the focus is obviously every business needs to earn money, right? Yeah. Let's just be honest here. It's not Hasbro's fault that they need to earn money and make a living. It's just that they used to design cards that were good and have a community that was solid and have a game that, apart from a couple hiccups, let's be honest, they've had some rough sets. Yeah. Was kept alive because of the love of the game itself. Now it's just like, all right, how do we tap the Spider-Man audience? How do we tap the Final Fantasy audience? The weebs. Let's go. I say that respectfully as a fellow weeb. How do we tap the Star Wars audience next? All right, after this, let's have the fucking Twilight Secret Lair and the Harry Potter set, because they're wizards, right?
Well, we already had Innistrad for Twilight, and
Markov's Chosen, I think.
Yeah,
it's definitely a Twilight card.
And Strixhaven for Harry Potter. Like, go back to that.
Please, yes, but they're gonna actually have Hogwarts as a legendary land at some point, and it's inevitable. They're running out of things.
I like that Strixhaven was like clearly a Hogwarts set, but it was just like very obvious, but also like not as in your face as actually making it Hogwarts.
Professor Onyx being Liliana just with like a pencil thin mustache was pretty funny to me. It's like, no, I'm not Liliana, I'm Professor Onyx.
And that goes back to what John was saying earlier about the Arabia Raya scale, where it's just like, when they take something, even if it's in pop culture, and they mix it with Magic's, kind of flavor, and they reskin things, I think that I speak for all of us when I say that it's a much better product for a Magic player, yes. But, I mean, it's a worse product for a Spider-Man fan, or a Harry Potter, or a Twilight fan. Like, they didn't get Twilight fans racing into Target to go buy all the Magic packs, but if they called it Twilight the Gathering or something, then market research might have shown that works. But I just want to get back to having it be a reskinned, flavorful, within-universe kind of depiction.
Yeah. They always say, like, take down the gates, like, gatekeeping is bad. I think gatekeeping is fine in right amounts. I think you want Magic to be for Magic players. And I'm fine gatekeeping Magic. I'll say it.
Yes. And if you want to have make it Commander legal, because Commander players are more willing to accept a lot of this stuff. Like, a lot of Commander players are that kitchen table Magic that we were talking about. Stop it with the sets. Like, you're really hurting our feelings at this point. Like, we don't need a fucking Spider-Man set. The fact that you even had Fallout booster packs is just disrespectful to the people who wasted their money on Fallout booster packs, where you can just buy the 4 decks and have the cards that you need.
Is that how they did it? There was no...
I don't know. I don't even know. There was probably cards. Like, I never bought a Fallout booster pack, but, like, sure, like, you want collectibles, you want the flashy stuff, put them in collector's boosters, but just stop forcing us now the actual core community that kept this game afloat for you for this whole time to enable you to abuse us like this. Stop forcing us to play Magic with Spider-Man in a competitive format, please.
Also, to that point, I think the bubble is sort of all like it came pre-popped on this.
I hope so.
Where like the first time they printed like Phyrexian Elish Norn or whatever, it was like super cool, unique. Like there was one Phyrexian card, and now there's a bunch of Phyrexian cards, and all the new ones are basically worthless.
Right.
So like, if they just did Fallout and that was the only universes whatever set, it'd be like this super weird thing, unique thing going forward. You know, it like the portal cards are like such an oddity, such an outlier, but they just keep doing different universes, and it's like, oh well, you know, flavor of the month Fallout, flavor of the month Final Fantasy. It's already basically just slop at this point.
And it's not like that money could have gone to, I don't know, fixing the foil pringling problem, or better set design, going into market research with your core players, or anything like that. Maybe some prize support for local shops and opening. It's not like it could have gone to anything like that. Jeez. It's just...
Yeah. It's a bunch of money.
And now we're just griping.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm in full-blown gripe mode. My knee hurts and I'm going to take it out on Hasbro.
We started this to gripe.
Well,
We woke up this morning and chose gripe.
Yes. Well, flowers for the tier list, and God fucking damn it for this one. I mean... Obviously, especially when it comes to Universes Beyond, people are going to have a lot of different opinions. Like, some of this stuff is like their baby, like Lord of the Rings for me. That was my baby. I read that book series every single year. I read The Hobbit all the way to Return of the King. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, I can accept this, but all those people that looked at it and were like, this is a slippery slope. No, you were right.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out 100% correct in that. And we are sprinting down that slippery slope as fast as we can at this point.
Yeah.
It is a matter of time.
Don't think we're at the bottom with how Final Fantasy sold.
Yeah.
You know, there's more. We can dig further. We can keep rolling down the slope.
And like sets are multiple years ahead in production. Like it's only going to get worse. Like we have to hit a wall to figure out, okay, 3 years from now we won't see this anymore. And they like flip-flop on things all the time where it's like, oh, let's have expeditions and let's put,
And yet the reserve list exists.
Invocations and a bunch of like, and then at one point invocations were like so bad or so poorly received, they're like, oh, we'll just never do this again, despite it like actually being a fine thing to have super rares in your booster set to make the value go up without making all the cards super valuable.
Yeah.
Like it kept regular card prices down while still keeping the value of the packs up, which is all you want.
Well, no, let's just release a $15 a pack set of nothing but reprints. Let's do that instead. God damn it, Wizards.
And the like say Final Fantasy is more expensive, right? Like the packs will be more expensive. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
So like they say, you can opt out of Magic. You don't have to, you don't have to. What's the word they use? You don't have to interact with every set. Well, if it's standard legal, you have to play in standard. Like you're getting Modern Horizons level price packs in standard required cards, and they have to do that because they have to pay for licensing and.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they could have just put, instead of Dr. Octopus, Surgeon General Squid, and paid half as much money to make it.
Right.
We'd all know the fucking joke, the whole reference, but...
I would definitely buy the Universes Within. I'm not buying a single Spider-Man pack. Absolutely not. That's a line in the sand.
So, it's like we are paying the price for them trying to get other people to play Magic that may or may not.
Yep.
They will.
The prices
for like 6 months.
Yeah. If they stick around, maybe it's all for the best. But I don't know. It's tough to say. Like I said, huge success or most selling set ever. I guess proof in the pudding. But what else they put in that pudding?
A lot of things.
A lot of fill, a lot of horse hooves or pig hooves,
whatever. Horse hooves. Well, on that note, I think we've covered a lot of topics here. I mean,
we've beaten this horse to death. And
not
put
even
it
close.
Food.
We have we've ground the horse into this song. I am unfortunately bacon. This has been the 3-for-1 podcast. Go ahead and outro yourselves, guys. Although, John, I think you did a pretty good job of that just now.
I've been Zimu. Thanks for watching.
And Bobrick here, checking out.
Please hit us up in the comments. Disagree with us as much as you'd like. What do you want to see for your next Universes Beyond? What's the most absurd thing you think is going to happen with this before, eventually Hasbro sells Wizards off to somebody else?
Right.
This is our old man yelling at Cloud episode, but
many more to come.
Whatever.
Yep. Thanks for watching,
Tell
guys.
us we're yelling at Cloud.
I remember when Savannah Lions was the premier one drop of
in Type 1.5.
Type 1.5.
Yeah, we're yelling at Clouds, but it's Cloud Strife, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, with that horribly depressing thought of having to sideboard Aang from Last Airbender to combat the Squidward, see you guys later.
Take care, guys.